Hey there, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to jump back into 6.5. This is part B of the videos. Right now, we are looking at finding the equation of a line given 2 points. So, similar thing. Remember, we got y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. All right, so let's get started. We've got 3, -1, and 6, -2 for our 2 points. So we need to start off finding the slope. I'll call this point 1 and point 2. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Y2 is -2. Y1 is -1. X2 is 6 and x1 is 3. I have -2 plus 1 is -1. And 6 minus 3 is 3. So we got m equals -1/3. We're going to take that and we're going to plug that in for m. And I will find the equation using either point. I want you to see that it works with either point. That should be a -1/3. So over here, I will use point 1, and here I will use point 2. Point 1 is 3 and -1. So I have y minus 3 equals, these turn into a plus, and I distribute and I get -1/3 x minus 1/3. I add 3 to both sides, and I get y equals -1/3 x. 3 is really 9/3 if we get a common denominator. So -1/3 and 9/3 is 8/3 thirds. All right, so that's using point 1. Using point 2, x is 6 and y is -2. So here, this one turns into a plus. I get y plus 2 equals, I distribute, I get -1/3 x plus 2. Did I make a mistake? I did. I put the wrong ones in over here. Ha, that was x and this was y. I screwed that up. I'll redo number 1. We subtract the 2 and we get y equals -1/3 x. Let's redo number 1. Look at your scrub teacher up here. I don't want no scrub. All right, so that was -1 and that was 3. There we go. This is the right order. These become a plus. So y plus 1 equals -1/3 x plus 1 when I distribute. Subtract 1 and I get y equals -1/3 x. Same equation. All right. That's what we're doing here. Let me give you guys one to try. Let's go with 2, 3, and -3. I don't know, 4. No, -4. Let's see. All right, I will assume you went through and did it. I'm going to start off finding M. I will call this 0.1 and 0.2. So 0.1 goes over here and 0.2 goes over here. Y2 minus Y1 equals, not equals, but over X2 minus X1. This is -7 over -5, or 7/5. Oh, that's ugly. Oi, oi, that'd be ugly. I've got Y minus Y1 equals 7/5 X minus X1. And neither of these are pretty. I actually think, I don't know, the smaller numbers are better. So Y minus 3 equals 7/5 X minus 2. Y minus, I'm going to rewrite this as a common denominator with 5. So 3 times 5 over 5 is 15 over 5 equals 7/5 X. And then here, this is like 2 over 1. When I multiply, I get -14/5. I will add 15/5 to both sides, or 3. And I get Y equals 7/5 X plus, that's not a 15 on bottom, that's a 5 on bottom, plus 1/5. All right. That's not peace. We're not done. We got a couple more to do. It's about to give you the peace symbol like we're done. But that's just 2 problems. What? Get out of here, Mr. Jones. Step it up. All right. Since you asked. 1.2. Oh, working with decimals now. -0 and -3.4. Second point is -0.8 and -5. Go. Ha. I normally do 1 and 2. I'm going to call this 2 and 1 just to change it up so that it reminds you it doesn't matter. So Y2 is -3.4 and X2 is 1.2. Y1 is 5 and X1 is -0.8. I just randomly turned that into a plus like a fool. No, that was a -5. Y1, yeah, that does turn into a plus. Okay. So -3.4 plus 5, that should be 1.6, but I'm going to make sure. And the bottom is 2. Rather than grabbing a calculator, I'm just going to multiply by 10. I get 16 over 20. This is 4 times 4 over 4 times 5. This is 4/5. But I'm sure you guys will use the calculator method. So let's do that, which is 0.8. So Y minus Y1 equals 0.8 times X minus X1. I don't know that either of them is friendly. I think it's easier for me to multiply 0.8 in my head if I do this one. So I'm going to use this point. So Y1 is -5. 0.8 times X minus -0.8. This is Y plus 5 equals 0.8X This turns into a plus. I believe that's 0.64. Because 8 squared is 64, so 0.8 squared should have 2 decimal places. 0.64. I will now subtract 5 from both sides. And I get y equals 0.8x minus 4.36. All right. Let's see. Couple more for you. All right, you guys try -3, -7, and -3, 1. All right, I'm going to assume you tried. M equals, I don't know, let's go with 2 and 1 again. Y2 is -7, Y1 is 1, X2 is -3, X1 is -3. I get -8 over 0. That is, M is undefined. And if you think back, M is undefined when this is a vertical line. And that has the equation X equals something. We'll see that in both of these, X is -3. So that's going to be the equation of the line. If you graphed it to take a look at it, you got -3, -7 down there, -3, 1 up there. It's a vertical line. Where that was me quickly racing through some points to just do a quick sketch. A doodle, if you will. All right, next example. Two, 0, and -3, 0. All right, so hopefully you see I'm getting y equals 0. When we work this out, 2 and 1, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1 is 0 over 5, which is 0. So y minus y1 equals 0 times x minus x1. Y minus y1 equals 0. No matter which one I plug in, I get y equals 0. One more question for you in this section. Well, we're going to do another thing, but I'm going to do another video for the next part. But one more with finding using 2 points and going. Yeah, that is your evil villain laugh. 5/6 and 1/4 is the first point. 2/3 and 1/2 is the second point. Have fun. All right, I hope you pause the video and try this. It's good practice. We covered this material. I will call this point 2 and point 1. So this is 1/4. Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Complex fractions. What was that? 5.5? Yeah. Well, if you recall, we got to find the LCD and multiply by it. So I've got 6, 4, 3, and 2 as my denominators. This is 2 times 3. 4 is 2 times 2. I've got a 3 and I've got a 2. LCD is 1 from each column. 2 times 3 times 2 is 12. We will multiply top and bottom by 12. If you use the holes in the graph method, it's just the numerator times what's left, what the holes have. So the numerator here is 1, 1, 5, and 2. And the holes in the graph, 6 is missing a 2. That's not a 6. The 6 is down here. This was the 4. The 4 is missing a 3. So I'll put the 3 there. The 2 is missing. 3 times 2 is 6. And this one had a denominator of 3. The denominator 3 is missing 2 times 2, which is 4. So 1 times 3 is 3, minus 1 times 6 is 6. 5 times 2 is 10, minus 2 times 4 is 8. This is negative 3 over 2. I put a box around it like a fool because we're not done. We're just getting started. I'm probably going to use 1 because it's got smaller points. Y minus y1 equals negative 3 halves x minus x1. And I will replace my x's and y. X is 2/3. Y is 1/2. If I distribute, this is negative 3 halves x. And then negative 3 halves times negative 2/3. The negatives make a positive. The 2's make a 1. The 3's make a 1. That's just 1. Add 1/2 to both sides. 1 plus 1/2. I get a common denominator. 2 plus 1 over 2 is 3 halves. If they ever want you to write it in standard form, clear fractions first. And then add the x term, subtract x term. So here, if I multiply everything by 2 to clear the fractions, I get 2y equals negative 3x plus 3. And then I will add 3x to both sides. And I get 3x plus 2y equals 3. So that's in standard form. All right, that's it for this video. We got one more thing in this section. Peace.